Hi everybody, it's me, Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills. I am getting my tablet ready, so while I do that, let me just get this commercially stuff out of the way. You know you can shop my Stampin' Up! Website at MemoryINKers.com. The January 2025 hostess code is J as in Jeff, B as in Bob, B as in Bob, H as in Henry, H as in Henry, P as in Paul, V as in Victor, 2. Okay, so, and while hostess codes are available, I'm going to just slide this in here. If you go to the top of my page, I try to have it somewhere in here. This month it's right up there. So, in case you're wondering where to find that. All right, so I'm trying to figure out why this isn't doing what it's supposed to. So typical, right? All right, I think I'm there. All right. As you know, it's very behind. So I may not, I see somebody just popped on, but please say hello. It'll take me a little while to see it on my tablet. All right, so in the spirit of using what we have, I've decided to pull out a stamp set. This is, when did this come out? I don't even know if I have it in here. I do not know. I do not know. But it's in the annual catalog, and I know it's older because it's on page 80, and it's in this section where they've reduced the stamp sizes. How do you guys feel about that, by the way? I would really like to know. Personally, don't like it. The theory is it keeps the bad guys from copying our designs, which they do, sadly. But here's the reality. You're a bad guy and you copy this design, you know how to make it bigger. So, come on. It's not hard to figure out how big this stamp set is compared to, like, the ones here. Let me find it. Well, those aren't shown real size either, I suppose. But anyway, I'm sure they could figure it out. So my personal opinion is I don't particularly care for it, but I am curious as to what you guys think. So I see that it looks like Kay commented, but I'm not seeing it. Weird. Maybe she commented on a different post. I don't know. So, and the other thing is we are going to make a card today, but like I said, talking about using things that we have, for the longest time, I had this piece of thick basic white cut out. It already had the circle. It was, I don't know what I was planning to do with it, but it had this little fold here. And then it folded like that, and it was sitting because I put it back with my thick white cardstock. And so I pulled it out, and all I did was I grabbed this beautiful, this new plaid paper in the mini. It's called Timeless Plaid. You guys, there's plenty in here for girls, but you know, a lot of us struggle with making man cards. But these, obviously there's pinks in there, but if you want to do man cards, this is a really good one. It's a really good one. This one, obviously, I put a flower in. Not necessarily a guy card, but you can see how you could change that up, right? So let me tell you what I did with this one before we start creating. I took this piece of designer series paper and I put it behind it. I kind of measured it and held it in place with some temporary adhesive. I penciled this circle, this one that's this one, and then I cut it out with the appropriate size dies from one of my favorite die sets. You guys know, and yet I always forget the name of it. Stylish Shapes. I don't know why. So anyway, that's how I got that. We're going to be using this size today. Also, these, I think these are retired, or you can probably find them still on the, hang on, let me pull it out so I'm making some sense. You may still be able to find these on the my Stampin' Up! Website, MemoryINKers.com. They are called deckled circle dies. They're a huge lot of them, and there's some big circles, great for scrapbooking. I'm not sure. We used to have regular circles this size. Remember that? And then they made the deckled ones, and then they make stitch ones. And, you know, if you've got circle dies that you like, use them. That's my theory. So, okay, so we're going to be using those. But anyway, excuse me. What I did was, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but the print is different between these two. And all I did was I flipped the piece over to get the other side, and to glue it down, I just set it in the circle, glued it down as I set it in, and then I guess I should say that I adhered this piece of why can't I think of the name of it? Oh my gosh, hang on. Lost Lagoon cardstock, and I stamped the Happy Birthday Blooms for You in Lost Lagoon, which is all of these are from the stamp set. Okay, so we are going to be using this set, which is why I'm showing this to you. But see, now I have a nice trifold card. The only boo-boo I made was when I stamped this flower right here, I should have put it a little bit lower, because you can kind of see it. It's not that big of a deal. You know what? If someone got this card from me and they were like freaked out about that, they better not tell me. Because like I've said before, they won't get any more cards. And then this piece is from the dies that go with it. It's right here. This used to be bundled. You can now buy them separately. Like I said, they are in the annual catalog. Let me pull that up again, and I can tell you the stamp set is $24. It's number 161229. The textured floral dies are $34. They're number 161231. Which actually, if you add those together, it's just $2 shy of getting a celebration item. So buy some adhesive and you're groovy. All right. So when I cut, so remember we're using stuff, right? You can also get this ribbon in the annual catalog. When I cut this out, I had cut it out of just a scrap, you know. My scrap was big enough that I was able to cut it down. And this is kind of, it's dark for me. I mean, this is not my usual style. But, I mean, you know, sometimes you got to play and see what happens. So I've got the birthday blooms, and then I did the same. Every thought of you makes me smile. It's a little bland for my taste, honestly. But it still works. So anyway, those were my use up what you've got things. All right, so we've got those cards out of the way. So now we're going to use the textured floral stamps. I'm not using any of the dies today. I'm just using the stamps for this. So I have some Berry Burst cardstock here, and I'm not going to decorate the inside. Certainly you can. I'm not going to do it on this video because this is supposed to be a Tiny Tip Tuesday, and I've already talked for, I don't even know how long, but I've talked for a little while. So, I'm sorry if you're commenting. I'm looking. I cannot see if you're commenting. So I apologize. I'll go back and look later. So I have two pieces of basic white cut 4 by 5 1/4. I have dust everywhere. So anyway, this one will go inside, and then this one is going to be for the, for what I'm doing. So I'm going to grab my foam mat. I should probably have the Stampin' Up! Logo up right, don't you think? And again, using scraps, I'm going to cut this piece, which is one of the decals. And then I'm going to cut a sentiment. I better move that first. Out of this scrap. You can see it's a scrap because at some point I just tore it. And I want to stamp. Oh, I didn't pull out the sentiment. Where did I just put the stamps? I'm sure they're right in front of me. They are. Okay. So I'm going to do the birthday blooms for you again. Grab a block. I don't know what I was thinking. All right. And I'm going to use the Berry Burst ink, which is the same color, okay, for the sentiment. I also have a Berry Burst pen here, marker, which you're going to see I'm going to do something with that in a minute too. So I'm going to stamp this down here because I don't need to waste the whole thing, right, by putting it right in the middle. So I've got that. So now I can see that I can cut that out. You can see that it just barely fits, but trust me, because I'm going to show you the other one that I made. It does fit. So let me grab my mini cut and emboss machine and get those cut out for you. I don't normally do this in front of you guys because a lot of times I'm using my big one and it takes up all the space. So, but I'm going to use my little mini today, and I'm going to put this one on the plate. And because the paper, it, like lucky, it just fits, right? So I'm going to go ahead. I should probably do this over here so you guys can see. I'm going to take some old washi tape. I know I use that, that Post-it note tape, but I mean, it's freaking expensive. And, you can get washi tape almost anywhere these days. I mean, and cheap. So now I have that in place, and I'm going to do the same thing with the sentiment so that it doesn't move, because we know that it does move. They do move inside these things. I mean, they do. So one of the things that I know is that the bee, I use two, the bee has this little line. See that little line? So it might get cut off a little bit, but if I'm careful where I put it, I might get some of that line for the bee. Let's see. Everybody hold their breath, because you know when I'm doing a video, not everything goes the way I want it to. Also, I just realized this piece is going to be too big to fit on my mini. Okay? Not a problem. That's when you grab your snips and you just cut it so it fits. Not a problem, right? And of course we save this because we can use it. That's kind of important. So now I have them both on here, and we're going to go and run it through. All right. Okay, so this one should come out without a problem. So we will just peel away the tear and tape. I'll fix that up later. And this one has tear and tape. I reuse my tear and tape until it's like ridiculously bad. So now here's the surprise. Let's see. Look, Birthday Blooms for You came out just fine. In fact, when I show you guys my original card, you're going to see that this one actually looks better than the one I originally did. So I set those over there. Now, I said that I brought out my Berry Burst marker. This is the dark one, I believe. Oh, no, I'm thinking blends, you guys. This is a regular Stampin' Write marker. So I'm going to take the brush in. You guys have seen me do this 8 million times. And the reason I'm doing this is this thing barely fits. I mean, they barely fit on each other. It's like minuscule. So I wanted to be sure that if I don't put it on there perfectly, because hello, it's me, that the edge will still look like it has some Berry Burst on it. So you guys have seen me do this a million times. If I'd used a bigger piece of that, a bigger die, I probably wouldn't have bothered to do this, but I didn't like the size of the bigger die. The bigger die was like too big. You guys ever had that? It's like, yeah, it's always like that. Does anybody out here remember Colozzles? This was before dies were a big deal. You used to go into like Michael's or Joann's and you would buy pre-cut dies. You guys remember that? Oh my gosh, I'm telling my age. But anyway, there was this thing called Colozzles, and they were like plastic, and you used a knife, and they had so many sizes, but they didn't cut them out all the way. You had to snip them. So if you don't know what they are, look them up. They had everything, though. They had puzzles that you could cut out, hence the name Coluzzles. So anyway, so I'm going to put some adhesive on here, and I don't want to get it too close to the edge. And when I feel like I have too much like that, I kind of rub it out a little bit because I don't want it to ooze out. So now this might be, I'm going to have to put this on white so that I can see what I'm doing. I'll put this right side up for you guys. Not that it really matters. It'll be right side up when it goes on the card. So see, like right there, it's very tight. So you might need to, this is why liquid glue is like awesome. But you see how it's just barely, it barely outlines it. But that's okay. It's enough. Now, technically with these decals, you could paper tear. But if I tried to paper tear this close, I would have to do it like 50 times because I would keep tearing it too close or underneath or whatever. Okay, so now we have this piece that we're going to be using, and I will eventually need one of these. Don't you guys miss this size? I miss this size of grid paper. I still have quite a bit of it. So, all right. So here's what we're going to do. I already did the sentiment, so we're done with that. I am going to take the flower, and I have my handy dandy scrub and cleaner close by because we're going to be using that quite a bit. And I know I'm going to want the sentiment kind of up here somewhere. I mean, it can go down here. Maybe for this card, I'll do it down here. So I'll move where the flowers are going. We'll see how that works. And I'm not going to use Berry Burst. Instead, I am going to use Peach Pie and Petunia Pop. Okay, these are in colors, in case you don't know. And what I'm doing is I am going to ink this big flower up in the Peach Pie. And then I'm going to dab it off. Just a little, not a lot, just a little. And then I'm going to open up the Petunia Pop. Ugh. And I'm going to grab my pink dauber. Do you guys keep daubers in different colors? I do. I have them in different, like not one for every color, but kind of like I do my blends brushes. And then I'm just going to go and I am going to add some color. Let me zoom in for you guys here. I just have to remember to zoom back out. So I'm just dabbing a few places on here. And I'm going to dab a few spots on the inside. Now you can see it's kind of making a spongy effect. I'm so okay with that because, you know, flowers tend to like have like faded areas. So now you can probably guess why I said you're going to need to clean these, because if I'm going to do this a few times, then you do what's called huffing, which is where you breathe your hot air onto it and it remoistens anything that's been sitting there. I know it's gross, but that's what it does. So now I'm going to set that flower up here. And look at how that comes out. I mean, this one looks a lot different than the ones I did. And you're going to see they look a little bit different. But I think sometimes that's like really cool. All right. So, and all my flowers, I'm going to put 3 on here. They're all going to come out different. So hold on, let me clean this. So, clean that. Nice and handy. I still use my scrubbing pads because I have like a million of them from when I was teaching in-person classes. So I still use those. Also, I don't remember if I told you guys this tip, but I saved an old hairspray lid, and this is what I use now. I just stick it on my giant refill bottle. So, all right. So now I'm going to do the same thing again. And I'm going to try not to put them in exactly the same places. I mean, there's some places where I think I'd like it, like the bottom edge, but it doesn't have to be the same edge. And I'm going to just move it around a little bit. And this one's going to have more of the peach pie look to it. So let's see how this one turns out. See? It's the same flower, but different. So, what did I just do with my scrub? What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. It disappeared into my basket, which is also black. All right, here we go again. One more time. You know what? I'm gonna take off a little less on this one. I'm just gonna very lightly touch it. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference or not, but we're gonna try. And this time, I think I'm gonna change where I've done them completely and just do them in some other areas. And I'll put a little bit down here just because it seems logical. And I think that's all. Okay. These are also fun to make polka dots on your pages. Fun, fun, fun. I love tools. You guys love tools? I wish I could see if you're commenting because I'm almost positive someone is. Okay. So there we go. Now I have 3 flowers. And I know you might not be like wowed by these flowers yet. I agree. They're a little on the bland side. You can actually, let me see if this will work. I don't know. Let me see. Let me grab another dauber. See if I have a yellow one. Hang on. Oh my gosh. I put it in an old stamp case and this puppy is hard to open, let me tell you. Okay, I don't see a very yellow one, but I'm going to see what happens if I do this and add in some more color. It's not bad, actually. So, play. This is why I say it's good to play when you are stamping, because you're going to come up with different ideas. And by me doing this, it's not really changing the look. And I could have kept it a solid, like not knocked it off, but it makes it easier for the petunia pop to go on there. But yeah, I kind of like adding some more yellows, and I think I might even just do a little in this white spot. I didn't do this on the other card that I'm going to show you guys, so you can tell me what you guys think about adding the other color in there. Peach pie and petunia pop. And then I actually am switching the colors. I'm going to be doing the leaf on this. Some of the, did I do it? I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if I can get this to work. I used a different leaf and I used different colors last time. So let me see what I can do. This is Old Olive, and I'm going to ink it up and stamp it off. Woo! My Old Olive really needs to be re-inked. Oh yeah, that is very, 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 very light. So I guess I will go back to the colors I used on the other ones, and I'm going to put this in the re-ink this stamp pad pile. Part of the problem with my stamp pads, I'm going to tell you guys this, my craft room is in the basement. My basement is not finished, like professionally finished, like I don't have drywall up and all that stuff. So it's painted and things, but it is a true basement. Oh, I forgot to unzoom. I'm sorry, you guys. I hate when I do that. Let me get back. Okay, I can zoom a little bit more. Ooh, gonna give you all a headache. There. Okay. So anyway, it's a true basement. And so I don't turn the heaters on unless I'm coming down. I live in Michigan. It gets cold. So I think that my ink pads get too cold, which is not good for them. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not good for them. All right. So I'm going to be using Summer Splash and Shy Shamrock. And you're going to notice that what I'm using is these are all from the same in color family. The only color I'm not using is I don't know, the pink one that came back. I don't know why I can't think of the name of it, but there I am. All right, so I have another sponge dauber handy, and I'm going to ink this up in Shy Shamrock. See how bright that is? That is like bright, 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 bright. That's not Shy Shamrock. I'm sorry. This is Summer Splash. So that is too bright. I don't want it that bright. So now I'm using Shy Shamrock, which is a little bit darker. And I'm doing basically the same thing that I did. You'll be happy I'm not doing 3 of these. So you can like keep watching. There's more to come. Because there's another trick I want to show you guys. So don't go too far. All right, so let's see. I'm going to do it on this one right here. I'm going to try to line it up. There really is no logic to lining this up perfectly, so don't expect it to. So there we go. Now I have some leaves down there. Now I could cover this one, you know how you mat and cover, and I could stamp some more of these, but I am not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to take this little leaf and I'm only going to ink it up part way. Let me show you. See how I didn't ink it all? And take my green again and oh, look at that, and go in there a little bit. And I don't want it to go that far. I don't want it to go that far, so watch this. I'm going to stamp it off a little bit. I'm putting it right on the edge of my foam and lightening it a little bit. A lot of it. Then I can come over here, and when I press, I'm going to press on this side, not so much on that side. There we go. So there's another trick for you. I could put in more, but that may not be a skill that I have. Matting would be easier, and then using this style. But it's really cute, right? I mean, so far you're like, oh, cute. Well, I like it. It's okay. But I decided that it would look good with some blue in it. So I'm going to show you my my original card now, so you guys can see. This was done the exact same way. What I did on this one is I didn't use this leaf. I don't know why. I only used this one. I actually think I like this better. But you can see how the colors are totally different. But let me show you how I got the blue. Obviously, I need my blending brush, and I grabbed my Balmy Blue ink pad. It's one of my favorite colors. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to brush, start off, and just start filling it in. I don't want to go too dark over like the flowers and things, but at the same time I do want to get into where there is too much white. And so like right in here, brush in there a little bit. Okay? You got to be really careful when you do that, because it's better to start off than in. And you can see I'm not tapping very hard. I don't want to get a lot of blue, just enough to give the card a soft blue. But if I'd have stamped these colors on blue, the flowers would have come out a totally different color. They would have been. Some of you might be going, oh, that might have been good, Carrie. because some of you may not like these. If you want to do the edge, just like we always do, I don't think I did this on the original one, but you know, here I go. You can edge it a little bit. Super simple, right? Okay, so we're all done stamping, and I'm just going to quickly put it together for you. So, so anyway, I've given you a few tips today. I hope that you liked some of them. I mean, I think it's interesting that these colors came out because I added. I'm not 100% sold on if I like it or not. I haven't decided, but it's an interesting way to add more color. I could have done that, I suppose, like I said, not pushed off stamped off as much ink, or not stamped it off at all, and then it would have been a much darker color. But I didn't. So for this one, I'm going to put the balloons for you at the bottom with some dimensionals. This is a super simple card. You can absolutely dress this up with, maybe you've got some leftover ribbon, because, you know, we're doing leftovers. You've got some leftover ribbons, or some, you know, that pack of gems that you have that only has a few left in it. And, you know, this would be a good place to use those up. So there you go. 2 different styles. I would love to know if you have a preference in the coloring. They're pretty close, but left or right. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Anyway, this is just a super quick Tiny Tip Tuesday today. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't forget to shop my website at MemoryINKers.com. And if you spend less than $150, please use my hostess code. Remember, it is celebration. So if you order $60, for every $60, you can pick a gift from the celebration catalog, which is available online on my website. So, all right, you guys, have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye.